driving. I really hate the smell of the seats. Let's go for a bike ride and play hide and seek. I'll get a job to the world, to the mall, so sad. I've been struck by lightning in this big world now. I'm going to your funeral. Watch you go with me here in your songs as the years that you lived. This is getting dark. You were 400 million kilometers away. That's just a little more far. Just a little more far. I'll go to Mars for you. I'll go to Mars for you. You're just too far, you're always too far. What do I do? You have my heart. I'll go to Mars for you.
Let's hear it for Ani. Good evening, everyone. My name is Derek Weston. I'm an assistant principal here at Gibbs High School, and I am the program director for the Pinellas County Center for the Arts. We are also live streaming our tour for the 7 o'clock hour here, so forgive me as I kind of fumble with my phone. And for those of you viewing at home, hello. I apologize for the camera work. I am not a professional, but we are going to enjoy this tour here together. I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Barry Brown. He is our principal here at Gibbs High School.
Just want to thank you guys for coming out and giving us an opportunity to showcase our talented program, our talented teachers, and our gifted students. So just thank you for tonight.
So tonight we're kind of in bizarre circumstances that our discovery night, we usually take a couple of hours, take our time going through all the different classes, but unfortunately we're going to be limited to 30 minutes because of COVID restrictions, and especially the extra restrictions that are placed on the performing arts with singing and instruments and that type of thing. So what we're going to do is sort of walk through all of our different arts areas tonight. And along the way, I'll share some information about our program with you. And then at the end, we'll take some questions. We're going to start in our Grand Theater. I think we'll just go as one. Students, as well as our design technology students. Pretty much everything that you're going to see is student designed and student operated, from the technology in the theater to the music and the acting. So let's go enjoy that, and we will go from there. This is our Grand Theater. We seat about 800 in our Grand Theater. And if you all want to sort of line up along that back wall there, I'm going to take the camera up closer to the stage. Yeah. Going to kind of make a circle type thing out here. So this is the backstage area, the loading doors. How exciting. Y'all want to maybe come around this way here. I'm going to kind of talk to us in a circle out here. Deal. So what y'all were seeing in there is an excerpt of a show that we recently did. It was actually written to be performed digitally. So we had a 3-day performance time where we were able to stream that digitally for anybody that had a ticket. And it was just one of those nice little ways that we kind of almost felt normal for a while. Usually we do at least 3 large-scale productions per year, combination of plays and musicals. So we at least kind of, got to do something in the midst of the pandemic. All of the design and all of the aspects of the shows that we produce here in the theater department are designed and built by students. And we're going to walk through an area right now where that happens. All the costumes that we make are designed by students and built by students. A lot of places will rent costumes whenever they do a production. We actually create them here, and we have a major called Design Technology that is designed to teach students how to do that. So we're going to do a walkthrough of our costume studio here, so follow me. Hello, Miss Kelly.
Hello, welcome.
I'll let you kind of introduce once we get folks in here. I'm just going to kind of go around and show some of the lab here. Oh, sorry. Yep, we're still coming. We got a pretty good sized group this time. I'll slip through here real quick. There we go. Thank you. Go ahead. Okay.
So I'm Mrs. Kelly. I am the costume design and theatrical design makeup teacher. And this is my 20th year with PCCA. I have 2 students working tonight. Kendall is a junior and she is a design tech major. And Annie is a junior musical theater major. They both are participating in a program that we co-sponsor with the Dolly Museum. Any 9th through 12th grader in a 4-county area can apply to be in the program. And they have to do design based on a Dolly piece of work of art. So they're furiously working to get their pieces finished because they're going to be filmed this Sunday. And it's a competition, and the 5 top winners get their work displayed at the Neiman Marcus in Tampa, because Neiman Marcus is one of the sponsors. I know you have only brief time, but we don't just build costumes. Before we ever get to the point of building, the children have to analyze the character, do the historic research. So I have some of the books laid out on the table. And design the costume so that it's appropriate for the play, for the character, and for the time period. We do all kinds of things. There's a peculiar piece that we built over there because we had a show where the person had to be a specific number of months pregnant, so we researched how big the tummy should be, and we built it, and it also has bean bags in it to make the weight so that they carry themselves appropriately once they put it on. This costume was for a show called Metamorphosis, and the character was Hunger. And so we built that and then hand painted it. We actually traced her bones while she had the unitard on, and then quilted it and put the stuffing in it, and then hand painted it. This is from Kendall Helton. Gentleman's Guide. This was for one of the lead. And we were lucky enough to be on a trip in New York and go to Mood Fabrics, if anybody knows that from Project One Way, and buy this gorgeous striped satin. But this was all built by students. We reuse things. The jacket was also used in a show called The Mystery of Edwin Drood, but we revamped it a little bit for this show. We do everything. If it calls for specific underwear, we make the underwear. If it calls for a specific hat, we make the hats. Everything, I'm a real big stickler for historic accuracy. So, and the students have to justify why they chose those colors, why that's appropriate for their character. What about it is historically correct for the character?
Thank you, Ms. Kelly.
And we have a shop that is to die for. There's a sewing machine under each one of these white desks that pop up. So we have a shop that's better than most colleges. In fact, colleges are kind of envious when they tour. So,
Very good.
Thank you
you all. We appreciate it. All right. You know what? While I have everybody gathered here, let me just kind of tell you where we're going next. We're going to go visit our dance department. Our dance department teaches both modern and ballet. They learn choreography, and we're going to be viewing a senior project rehearsal. All of our students, when they get to be seniors, have to complete a senior project, and that senior project, of course, varies by what their discipline is. What we're going to see in the dance department are a group of seniors that are working with some underclassmen on part of their senior project. Not only do they have to dance their senior project, but they also have to do choreography. So we're going to go and visit that in the next building. So follow me. Backstage is not usually the most scenic part of the tour, but look at these fine cabinets. I think they've been around since before I was born. This may not be the most exciting thing in the world, but we actually have a full loading dock.
Hello, good evening. There's sometimes connectivity between the buildings, but we'll be right back with Mr. Weston, and I'll come back and talk to you in just a few minutes.
Yeah. Mr. Derek, give me a thumbs up if we're okay here. I'll take it that you switched to the live view, that we're good. Okay, this is one of our dance studios.
Slaves from generations socialized. The sickness is in the mind. You are habitual thinker, substance abusers, and habitual drugs. But free your mind because the fault is marching on the top floor on the extreme fault. But are we really trying to keep denying the professional's training? Are these signs of it already? We're all kids lying. It's all forward to the street. So what you said, you never seen your project called our social strategic in the dance department, the seniors are required to create, produce, direct, constant production, everything for a single project. They take a course called dance choreography performance 1, and then dance choreography performance 2. where they learn the theories both in the streets. We do this so that those who are up on college, so that they understand how to competitive. The original founders of all competition around their own competition scholarships for our communities, for our fellow, as well as demonstrating leadership for our action versus in college. We have Grace out here as a senior and Zoe Turner. Two of our seniors. Everybody knows. If they can choose what's equal, who's good, the process of this is the devil's world, but the Lord is coming out of his heart.
And this is Miss Page. She is our dance department chair.
COVID has presented some interesting challenges to choreography, but I think that they're doing an awesome job of realizing their theme and their intent while practicing social distancing and still getting a chance to work with their peers.
Nice. Thank you, Miss Page.
You're very
Appreciate
welcome.
you guys.
Thank you guys for coming.
Okay.
All right, here again, there's a little bit of connectivity, Wi-Fi issues walking between buildings and all the concrete and whatnot, changing from Wi-Fi servers to different servers on campus. So you can see, it looks like the tour group is headed my way to Building 5, I believe. Let's see. It looks like that's where they're coming in the back of Building 5. And so I'm going to give it back to Mr. Weston here. Mr. Weston, can you tell us, I'm not sure if you can hear us, but hear me, but you teach your class as well? Oh, here's the choir.
Sing your next note, ready, and hold.
Can I move you forward a little bit?
And what's your dynamic?
Thank you.
But we're going to sing it at forte. Here we go.
Move your chair a little bit.
1, 2, and here you go.
Move your chair a little bit.
Stop. Right there. 1, 2, and here you go. Forte. Articulation.
You're good at that.
Text the water.
that hope stall grasped in wide.
God's gonna trouble the water.
The leader looks like Israel.
God's gonna trouble the water. Within the water. Good, raise your hand. Within the water, children. Within the water.
God's gonna trouble the water.
All the children run away.
The water.
Go ahead and sing forte.
The water. Within the water, children.
Within the water.
God's gonna trouble.
All the children run away.
See them dressed in red.
God's gonna trouble the water. Good, let's pause right there. Can you go right there at the last measure on page 5? Faces are here. Tenors, households. Hold your note on. They get right at hold.
Hallway. Okay, so that was our chamber choir. We've had, of course, some challenges this year of having half of our choir at home and half of the orchestra at home and whatnot. And so through technology and means, we've been able to keep our choir and our orchestra and our band and all of our groups rehearsing, which is really, really nice. That's one of our 3 choirs. We also have a women's chorale and a larger symphonic chorus that performs with our orchestra. Speaking of our orchestra, we're going to go and visit our orchestra next. On your way there, check out these practice rooms. These practice rooms are actually fairly soundproof. When they built this facility, opened in 2005, practice rooms, although they don't look like much, were about $15,000 a piece in order to provide top of the line facilities where the students are going to basically have college before they go to college, both in terms of the instruction, the expectation, and the facilities. So we are going to go visit the orchestra rehearsal. And wave at the folks at home.
Good job, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Thanks for coming, guys. Good to see you.
Okay, we're just going to kind of keep going. Mr. Brown, give the elevator key. All right, we're going upstairs, and if we have an elevator, if you're not comfortable with this. All right, it's just down the hall in building 4 that way. So, Mr. Brown, take care of y'all.
Thank you.
All right, follow me. Our next stop is the visual art department. Up the stairs. Let's see how smoothly I can do this with the camera. Because if I fall down, I could probably win America's Funniest Home Videos. Yeah, there you go. Two of them. The first one's sort of a traditional art studio, and then the second one is a digital studio. We offer 2D and 3D and digital courses as well. So let's go see what they got going on.
Is anyone coming? Oh, they're right here. They're right here. They're right there. Hello, everyone.
Howdy. Howdy. We have a big group here, so we're running a little behind.
Hi, welcome. If you guys want to loop around back here, you can kind of get a full view. Go ahead and, scan the edge.
Thank you. I see Mr. Weston saved the best for last.
That's right.
Hey, everybody. Hello.
Hello. Come on in.
This is Mr. Beveridge. He is our art department chairman.
Nice to see you.
And this is Miss McKee.
Hi.
So McKee is not only one of our faculty, she's also an alumni of the program.
Woo, go PCCA.
And Mr. McAllister.
Hey guys, good evening. Good morning, good afternoon. Whenever you're watching this, just keep kind of swinging this way.
Nope.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening. My name is Steve Beveridge. I'm the chair of the Visual Arts Department. And joining me this evening are Stephanie McKee and Brian McAllister. This is actually Mr. McAllister's classroom. So he teaches AP drawing to our junior class in this room, but he also facilitates the room next door to us that you're going to see next, which is our dedicated Mac lab. Okay, so the students you see here tonight are working on AP work. There's juniors and seniors. A lot of them are working diligently to meet a deadline for our juries that are coming up, which is a student assessment we do twice a year to ensure that they're meeting the requirements and making art with the level of intensity and rigor that we need them to. So we're very portfolio driven. They're by the time they get to be juniors and seniors, they're making work automatically. They're making work very self-guided, self-directed. And as you can see, we're very proud of our facilities. These classrooms are state-of-the-art art studios. They're less like classrooms. They're industrial enough for us to be pretty diversified in our approach to visual arts, drawing, painting, and sculpture. And as I said, when you move next door, you'll be able to see what we also do digitally. So, do you have any questions, or do you want to maybe try to kind of move through? And...
Maybe we can ask questions in the other room.
Okay.
You sure? Keep it moving.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Follow Mr. Weston.
We're going to go to the next part of the room here. It's our photography studio and our digital lab.
Welcome to the dark side.
Approved.
Yeah. So welcome to our digital lab. We are extremely lucky. These kids might not know as much as I do, or the parents may know, but we probably didn't have this kind of technology when we were this age. I know I didn't. So, but this is a brand new Mac lab. We just got it refreshed this year. So, working with the latest Adobe softwares, working with the latest Mac computers. So really, really lucky, and thanks to the referendum money, we were able to kind of secure this kind of equipment for these students. So this is our digital lab. It's open to all majors, so it's exclusive to PCCA, but it can be if you're a dance major, tech theater, it doesn't really matter what major you're in. You're more than welcome to take our elective. We have a mix of all students in all of our electives, so painting, printmaking, sculpture, all of those electives are also mixed with all the other PCCA majors. This we have some examples on the board. We start out with photography. We do a lot of Photoshop, a lot of Illustrator, try to get them oriented with those programs in the first level. Then in the second level, we bump them up and I can give them more assignments, set them a little bit more free on their own to do those assignments and kind of guide them on the way. So while I'm working with the first level, I can kind of help them in the general direction they need to be going. And then there's a third level, which is basically like a thesis setup. So they get to choose the assignments they want to do based on where they're going for their post-secondary education. So if they want to be a photographer, or a graphic designer, or an illustrator, they can kind of tailor their assignments for a portfolio that's specific to the college that they want to go to. So by the time they make it to that level, they're really proficient with all the programs that we use. Again, it's one of those things that a lot of art schools kind of want you to have by default coming in, is a knowledge of how to use all of these software. So really, again, really, really lucky to be able to work on these kinds of computers and these kind of applications. So, and again, if you're not just a visual arts major, you still have access to these electives too as you go throughout the program for those 4 years. You guys have any questions about anything? So,
there's a question back here.
Yep. Can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Anime.
Anime, anime is a very stylized form of animation, and we are more of a classical approach to drawing with our foundation skill or with our foundation courses, and so students are allowed to use anime. They do anime. We try to teach them more classical drawing skills because the better they get at those skills, the stronger their anime or whatever they pursue will be. So
right, it's an acceptable form of representation. It's just formulaic, and we would like to try to see if they can break that formula. They can usually return back to that. They can loop back to that later on in their upper levels, and they're usually returning it to it with their own sort of voice embedded into that representation. So
we also offer Mr. Beveridge is our art history guru, so he does AP and the regular art history, which is another great course to take. And we also have, oh, we got another question? No, go ahead. No, go for it.
From what I was reading, if they do the visual arts, which is the traditional,
Right.
there is a digital component. They don't have to take that business and digital. I thought it was like a different.
So
there's two different magnet programs here. We have our beta program, which is based more in the business world, and there's a media design portion of that. This in the arts magnet doesn't focus so much on the business as it does the artistic techniques and styles within that. So this does not include the business type classes.
So would they learn the traditional, I guess, and they could do digital
Correct.
as well?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, great.
So this would be the digital realm where we do digital painting, photography, Photoshop, photo manipulation, a lot of different techniques there, versus doing more traditional approaches like drawing, charcoal painting, printmaking, etc. So this is where they are into that digital realm.
Do they have to choose between those, or do they?
It depends. If they're in the vision, or if they're in PCCA, they'll come to us for digital, but they do have the opportunity to be able to take other courses if they want to take the more business side of things on for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like we want to focus more on the artwork and the art making than more business technical.
All the students in the art department have foundational courses in both 2D and 3D. So that lays the foundation for that digital work later on. And the digital class, for example, is one of the electives that the students, most of them take it, but it's one that they can choose to do. We also have painting and fine art craft and things like that.
So to kind of sum up the visual arts department, so what we do for their first 2 years is very foundation based. So we teach them a lot of observational drawing and get those skills honed in, because their junior year is an AP drawing portfolio. Now, once they make it to senior year, they choose between either a 2D portfolio or a 3D portfolio. So some students do both. I can't wrap my head around how they get that much work done, but they score absolutely fantastic scores with both portfolios. But usually they choose in their senior year, so it could be 2D, so it could be more digital oriented. Even drawing is still digital. So we have some students right now that are doing their junior portfolio in a digital format. So there's a lot of, so first 2 years are really geared towards getting those skills honed in so that they can take it and again use their artistic voice their junior and senior year.
Yeah, we're really prepping them for post-secondary success in higher education, that we would hope that they would go on and study art or design and then start to learn maybe more of the business orientation towards whatever art design field that they're getting into based on their post-secondary education.
Thank you.
Very good.
Any other questions? Say again?
Do you have any kids doing animation or building things?
We do dabble a little bit in animation. We don't. It really depends on the pace of the class. So if the class can get through enough assignments to get to the animation, because that's kind of the very end of the digital curriculum, we do get into it. But it really again depends on the pace of the whole class. Now, when you get into something like level 3, that's when you start to get or you have the option to be able to choose that if say animation was something that you wanted to go into when you get out of school. But again, with animators and animation, you have to have an extremely strong foundation in observational drawing. Basically, the ability to draw is what's going to get you to that animation level. So that's why we hound them on that from the very get-go.
We've had a lot of students doing stop motion animation recently too. So yeah, Emma Harrison's actually not even a visual arts major. She's a violinist. She's an instrumentalist, but she's doing an AP portfolio with me, and she's taking photographs and starting to now pursue some stop motion animation.
And I think one of the tendencies is a lot of students and a lot of people hear the word animation and they're like, oh, I want to be an animator. But I don't think they really fully understand how much drawing and how much background it takes to even get to that animation level, appropriately. So that's why we try to get them through as much as we can possibly get them to, so that they're ready to go to that next level for when they want to take post-secondary education.
Let me share just a few generic things about PCCA that we didn't cover in the hallways. And then we're going to go back to the theater. I'll stick around and answer any questions that you might have about any of the programs. When you're a student in PCCA, you have 8 classes. At least 3 of those are going to be classes in your arts major. Most students have room to take 4. So up to half of your schedule is going to be taken with arts courses. So it's a very immersive environment. You're in lots of arts classes with lots of students that are like you, that enjoy the arts, that have a passion for it, and to the point that they want to commit to a program where they're taking 3 or 4 classes at a time. A lot of times I get asked about, can you take a digital art class if you're a music major, for example? And the answer is yes. For most of our programs, the first 2 years are very heavily foundational courses within the student's major. But then after that, in the junior and senior year, there's openings for them to take digital art with Mr. McAllister or AP art history for an AP credit, things like that. So there is opportunity for crossover, but when you come, you do focus very strongly on one particular major.
And that's where the electives come in handy, because that's your time to kind of jump back and forth between majors.
Correct. Yes.
Do you provide dual enrollment here?
We do. We have a couple of dual enrollment classes that we have on campus. We also have in the musical theater department, for example, we have a dual enrollment 2 years of musical theater for dual enrollment with St. Pete College, taught on our campus. We do have students that take classes over the summer and sometimes in the evenings through SPC. We also have a great deal of advanced placement courses that when students earn a qualifying score on an AP exam, they also get that same college credit. So the academic potential, we're preparing students for college. When our students come out of our program, if they're working hard, both as an artist and with their academics as a student, they're going to be competitive for admission to the top colleges and universities in the nation, conservatories. It really is, this place really is what you make of it. The tools that we have available to students will be able to take them wherever they want to go. If they're dedicated and they want to be a part of that, then that's something that we absolutely provide. Yes?
Do you have a list of, like, if they're in a specific major, I guess, of those classes, like if they're taking 4, where are those courses listed to see?
If you go to gopcca.com, our website, each department kind of has a breakdown of what at least I think every department has something up for at least what the first year looks like. For sure. But if you don't find what you're looking for, drop me an email. I'll be happy to get that for y'all. We are not doing shadowing this year, unfortunately, due to the COVID restrictions. There are some programs that are doing that, but because of the additional restrictions we're under with specifically the performing arts, we are not offering shadowing this year. However, I am offering tours to families at 7:30 in the morning. If you call an RSVP, there'll be certain days that I'm going to be doing tours. That would be an opportunity for both the parent and the student to come through, take a tour. We can concentrate. If you want to know about our visual arts department, we'll go and spend some time in the visual arts department. We won't do the whole grand tour or anything. We can really kind of focus in on what you would like to see. So that gives us an opportunity to at least get you on the campus during a normal school day and spend a little bit of time in the department. All right.
Make one more plug.
Absolutely.
So one more plug that I'll throw in there too. I started a program here about 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago now, called Gibbs Mural Club, and we work with city and community organizations, local businesses to paint murals all over the county, all the way up to downtown Clearwater, to downtown St. Pete, out to the beaches. So, and we try to get mural jobs in both ends of the county. So if you're a North County student, you can get involved and it's closer to home. So that if it's harder to get further south, we try to work around with everybody. But it's a great program, gets kids outside painting regardless of the major. It's open to everybody at Gibbs High School, so any student really can come help out and get you guys out and painting. If you ever want to get rid of your kids for a day, and I'll put a paintbrush in their hand. I say it to every group, but it's the truth. It's a lot of fun to get them out there in the community and hear the feedback from what they do.
One final plug for the website we started because of COVID restrictions and we can't host face-to-face exhibitions. PCCA Visual Arts with an S.org. PCCAVisualarts.org. You can see 2 galleries that are based on senior work. We're building a new one now for our jury, so it's going to be an all-student jury. So it's going to be over 100 artworks. And that's going to be adjudicated by a local artist, Cody Thompson.
And you'll get to see artwork from all 4 levels, freshman all the way through senior.
Excellent.
Thank you.
So for all the folks that are visiting with us at home, I'm going to bid you a good night. Miss Adair is going to stick around and answer questions for y'all at home. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you on a tour very soon.
Thank you, Mr. Weston. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out and coming along with Mr. Weston on our tour of PCCA. I teach music theory here, and all of our music students have take music theory classes, including musical theater. We offer Music Theory 1, Music Theory 2 honors, and AP Music Theory. And I also teach chamber music here and coach the academic team. So I see a lot of different students. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have about PCCA or any of our programs. I can particularly answer music questions, but I can at least take note of all of the other questions that you may have and get answers to you. If you would like to schedule one of those family tours like Mr. Weston was talking about, you can schedule those by contacting him or visiting our website, which is gopcca.com. And that's scrolling across the bottom here. So you can visit gopcca.com, and that there's a ton of information there. But reach out to us and we will get something set up. He's doing tours, like he said, for families, and you can concentrate on the area that you're interested in. And they're at 7:30 in the morning. It's just because that's, we start school here at 7:10 each morning, and 7:30 is the best time to get a feel for what's going on here. So any questions? You can just put them in the chat, and I will be happy to answer what I can. How's that? Could you take a music class with little to no experience? That's a great question. We do have some programs here for, let's see, our symphonic choir is a choir that does not require an audition. So we have traditional students that sing in the symphonic choir. We have instrumentalists that sing in the symphonic choir. We have students from all over campus that sing in the symphonic choir. In fact, most of our instrumentalists sing in the symphonic choir as well, because it's great ear training for those students. That's the very most entry level kind of an experience. You could, you don't have to learn how to play an instrument. You can jump into symphonic choir that way. Also, we have some traditional band classes that you can learn how to play an instrument there. As far as like PCCA orchestra and PCCA band, those all are audition only. And if you are a regular student at school, you can certainly audition to be in that ensemble. You don't have to be in PCCA to be in the orchestra, but everybody does have to audition. But yeah, there are some classes. Marching band, I know that a lot of students start and take marching band. We have a great marching band here that marches in I don't know how that's working this year. I don't know about parades, but traditionally we've marched in the Martin Luther King Jr. Day Parade here. And I'm not sure what other parade things. It's kind of a show band, and it's more of a traditional marching band. And we have a great band director, Mr. Rob Thomas. Well, the students who want dance and theater have to audition to get in the program. I don't know. I know that they hold open auditions for theater productions. Like you'll see, there's a call board, an audition board, where you can find out about all the things that you can audition for here. And there's traditionally been at least one production I know of that is a traditional, school-wide production. For dance, that's a really good question, and the best person to answer that would be to contact PCC or go to gopcca.org or send your question to Mr. Weston, and I've put his email there in the chat. You can call our office. Our Mrs. Gilbert would be happy to answer questions about that. And also Miss Page, who is our dance instructor, our dance teacher. She is amazing. Just so you know, we have, if you saw Hamilton, the movie, the original cast, one of the dancers is an alumni of Gibbs. Yep. I mean, there have been some pretty incredible people that have come through this program. We have numerous students at conservatories and, you know, on Broadway, well, of course, before the pandemic, but we have some very, very accomplished alumni out there working in the field. Hi, Emily. But yes, every student that wants to come and be in the program, if you want to attend PCCA in the magnet, you need to set up an audition time, and we're doing all auditions virtually, including like interviews and, you know, music auditions, acting, all that sort of stuff. And again, you can find all of the audition requirements at gopcca.org. I'm sorry, gopcca.com. gopcca.com. I do not know the answer to that, Sarah. Is there a way to take photography without taking any other art classes? That's a great question. I know that Mr. Weston can totally answer that question. And also you could email either Mr. Beveridge. Mr. Beveridge is probably the best person to email about that. And his email is Beverages, because his first name starts with an S, beverages@pcsb.org. And he would be definitely the person to ask about that, beverages@pcsb.org. I can type that in the text. There you go. If you were watching the visual art portion, you heard them say the first 2 years, the visual arts program is typically very establishing rudiments, fundamentals, fundamental skills, all of the basics that you have to know to advance. It's foundational skills, very important. And I really cannot say enough about how amazing the visual arts program is here. We have gold medal winners, national winners for competitions here every year. It's just crazy, the skill level of the students that come out of the school in the visual arts department. And, you know, it's like that across the entire school, like in the entire PCCA, the quality of student is very high. It's a rigorous course of study. Okay, I'm going to give this maybe about a few more minutes before I call it a night here. And you can always email us at Gibbs or PCCA. Just check out our website. Really, the best source of information is gopcca.com. Gopcca.com. That is the best place to get your information. And I can certainly direct some of these questions and have people answer you, but the best way is to fill out an information, send email on gopcca.com, or I don't know if there's an information form there. There might be, I don't know. But those emails that I've given you, those are definitely, you want to check that out. And you can always call Gibbs High School and talk to somebody in PCCA. We have some amazing, clerks for PCCA, just fabulous people that know all things about the department and can help you, and they just know all the things. Something that I didn't show off in my classroom, I have a brand new iMac lab with 20 new iMacs and MIDI keyboards and lots of fabulous software, including Finale, Final Cut Pro, Pro Tools, all the tools to use in music theory and music production. It's really a very nice state-of-the-art music theory lab. So I'm absolutely thrilled to teach here and have enjoyed every minute of teaching at this school. Our pass rates on the AP classes for music and art, we have AP Music Theory, our pass rate is well above the global, state, and national averages. We are close to 100% in music, and we are, I believe, if we weren't at 100% in art, we're pretty darn close to 100% pass rate in art. But these are incredibly difficult courses, and we always have top marks in our AP classes. So if there aren't any more questions, I am going to call it a night. And thank you so much for joining us. Oh, yay. Make sure you fill out your application, Sarah, okay? And get your audition information and all that good stuff. And we can't wait to meet you. But thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for this Discovery Night live tour of PCCA. And we look forward to seeing you on our campus soon. Good night.